Good morning, teachers. So ito na po ang part 2 ng actual let questions na lumabas noong September 24, 2023 let examination. So this is on professional education. In this video, it consists of 25 questions with rationalization. Okay, so we shall begin in number 26 kasi nga continuation na po ito. Okay, so question number 26. Why do you think it is important to administer pre-test and post-test to the learners in today's learning facilitation process? A. To determine how much learning has been impacted by the institutional delivery through obtained score difference. B. Because it is a part of the competency of the grading system. C. In order to have a variety of assessment modalities. And D. So that the learners will be forced to pay attention during instruction delivery. Okay, the answer is letter A, to determine how much learning has been impacted by the institutional delivery through obtained score difference. So, kung malaki na yung score nila sa post-test as compared to your pre-test, it means to say that the instructional delivery is effective enough. Okay, so data-driven decisions are important in education. So pre-test and post-test are an excellent way for educators to gather that data to improve instruction and ultimately benefit future students. 27. During deliberation of graduating honor students, the faculty members decided to declare student A to be a class salutatorian over student B based on the computation of grades. However, it was found out that there was an error in the computation days after the deliberation and finalization. How would this be reconciled? A. Just remain silent with the flaws and errors in the computation, as it may cause bigger chaos and issues against the school. B. Go with the decision anyway it underwent deliberation and had a quorum. C. As per protocol, any decision during the deliberation cannot be changed anymore. And D. Correct the error and deliberate the case and declare whoever turns out to deserve the merit. The answer is letter D. Correct the error and redeliberate the case and declare whoever turns out to deserve the merit. Number 28. Given the availability of modern technology, which is recognized today as a kind of learning that can happen anytime, any place, and anywhere. A. Online learning. B. Face-to-face learning. C. Traditional learning. And D. Hybrid learning. The answer is online learning. Okay, so distance learning is any kind of remote learning in which the student is not physically present in the classroom. The student may be anywhere while learning takes place. So distance learning is educating students online. 29. On lifespan perspective, which message best describes development as lifelong process? A. We enhance socializing as important to maturing. B. We change as the world changes around us. C. We gain capacity for logical thought in school. And D. We continue to learn and flourish in life. The answer is letter D. We continue to learn and flourish in life. So the development does not stop at a certain age. Development is a lifelong process. We may find individual and group differences in patterns of development. So examining the influences of gender, generation, race, ethnicity, culture, socioeconomic status, education level, and time in history is also important. 30. What methods are best utilized to cater global learners? A. Old-time tested methods. B. Discovery methods. C. Exploratory method. And D. Emergent and progressive methods. The answer is letter D. It's emergent and progressive methods. So global learners develop strong self-evaluation and self criticisms are open to the widest range of ideas and concepts, and distinguish bias from the truth. So, a global learner also draws on knowledge from sources outside of their country and interprets it without country or regional bias. Progressive learning is a deep learning framework for continual learning that comprises three procedures: curriculum, progression, and pruning. Emergent method as inductive, indeterminate, and open-ended. An emergent method begins with the empirical world and builds on understanding of it as events unfold and knowledge accrues. Okay, so it is emergent and progressive method. 31. Why are people victimized by financial scams and end up to the loss of properties, investment, and savings, and even to ruining their lives? Okay, so what is the reason? What do you think is the reason? Okay, is it A, they have learned in school how they have not learned in school how to avoid being scammed? Letter B, it is already their destiny and that may happen anywhere, anytime, a sketch in the palm of their lives. C, it is always part of life and it is just that they are not wise enough to cope with it. And D, they desire for easy and quick money. Okay, so the answer is very obvious. No, it is letter D. Okay, so they are victimized by financial scams because they desire for easy and quick money. Okay, so findings revealed that the victims feel into investment fraud because of their desire to increase income and wealth. They are weak and prone to victimization. 32. How can values be effectively integrated? Not Yes, cognitive and academic discipline like mathematics. A. Include the portion intended for values in the best prepared in every lesson. B. Post the expected general values on the board every lesson to remind the students on adding obedience, patience, and honesty in solving mathematical problems. Letter C, cite practical samples and actual solutions in the given problems, life appreciation of math concepts, and then draws the implied value appertaining to it. And D, put additional component in the lesson plan intended for value integration. Okay, so the answer is letter C. Cite practical samples and actual solutions in the given problems, life appreciation of math concepts, and then draws the implied value appertaining to it. 33. In terms of giving feedback, it is imperative for facilitators to immediately retrieve results of corrected worksheets and formative assessment, including necessary comments, suggestions, and needed support. What is the rationale behind this? A. For the learners to have their scores kept and recorded as evidence of what they would get as final grade. B. For the learners to reflect on their learning retention and less mastered competencies as basis for possible remediation and intervention before proceeding to the next phase of learning. C. For the teachers to have immediate compilation of the scores in the record. And D. For the teachers to avoid backlog of assessment to be checked. Okay, so what is the answer here? It is letter B. For the learners to reflect on their learning retention and less mastered competencies as basis for possible remediation and intervention before proceeding to the next phase of learning. Okay? 34. Should students be allowed to participate in establishing class rules? A. Yes, only if they are few, but no when they are too many. B. Yes, sharing responsibility with students for making classroom decisions increases the students' commitment to the discussion. Letter C, no. Students to bend the rules to suit their desires. And D, no. With all her years of teaching experience, the teacher knows best. Okay. The answer is letter B. Yes, you can include them in. You can allow students to participate in establishing class rules. Sharing responsibility with students for making classroom decisions increases the students' commitment to the discussion. 35. Heroism mainly depicts living a life of selflessness and sacrifice to attain higher good and good of the country. Who among the following concretize the modern definition of heroism? 1. Frontliners in time of pandemic. 2. Teachers who keep on planting the seeds of humanity. 3. International achievers for bringing pride and honor to the country. And 4. OFW who raise and sustain the country's economy. Okay, obviously, the answer is letter D. All of these choices are the representation, no, of the modern definition of heroism. Okay, so the answer is letter D. Okay, all of the statements describes or concretize the modern definition of heroism. 36. How to grade a dance performance. A. Observation. B. Solving. C. Technique. And D. Pen and paper. Okay, so obviously, on the choices given, it is observation with rubrics. Okay, this is how you grade a dance performance. 37. The event or stimulus that precedes to any of behaviors observed on learners. A. Antecedents. Um, B. Consequence. C. Actuation. And D. Relation. The answer is antecedents. Okay, so they are changes to the environment that occur immediately before a behavior occurs. So they cue the behavior or signal to the individual that now is a good time to demonstrate a behavior because reinforcement is already available. 38. Which of the following principles justifies mercy killing as an ethical issue? A. Principle of formal operations. B. Principle of double effect. C. Principle of cooperation. And D. Principle of lesser evil. So, ang sagot is letter B. Principle of double effect. Okay, so let us know first what is mercy killing or the euthanasia. In other words, someone kills a patient without their explicit consent to end the patient's suffering. So that is mercy killing. So the principle of double effect naman, it states that actions with both good and bad are ethically legitimate only under the certain conditions. So the act performed is not itself morally evil. So the good effect is not caused by the evil effect. So double effect, there is a good side and the bad side of doing this. 39. Which physical aspects of classroom management must be taken into consideration in order to get to know more of your students? A. Seating arrangement. B. Classroom bulletin boards. C. Entrance and exit doors. And D. Line information. The answer is seating arrangement. So, it plays an important role in student learning, engagement levels, and the overall success of the class. Sitting can influence how comfortable students feel participating in activities as well as how much they focus on their work. So make sure that the students are comfortable, no, in their own uh, seats. 40, Junel is in grade 7 and unfortunately he failed in two learning areas, which means that he will blank. A. Repeat subjects with failure. B. Be retained in the same level. C. Not to be accepted for enrollment. And D. Undergo remedial classes. The answer is letter D, undergo remedial classes kasi nga dalawa lang yung failed learning areas niya. So for grades 1 to 10, a learner who did not meet expectations in at most two learning areas must take remedial classes. So remedial classes are conducted after the final grades have been computed. So the learner must pass the remedial classes to be promoted to the next level. 41, it is a form of distance learning that uses computer networking technology to provide interaction of teacher to learner. A. Virtual learning. B. Distance learning. C. Mentorship. And D. Independent study. Okay? Computer that uses computer networking technology. It is virtual learning. So virtual learning refers to an environment where students study a digital based curriculum taught by instructors that lectures online via video or audio. So this instruction can take place either in a self-paced, which is known as the asynchronous environment, or in the real time or the synchronous environment. 42, when a child says that the son is sleeping at night, the child is in the pre-operational stage, particularly blank. A. Animism. C. Centration. C. Egocentrism. And D. Reversibility. The answer is animism. So, animism is a particular sensibility and a way of relating to various beings in the world. So, it involves attributing sentience to other beings that may include persons, animals, plants, spirits, and the environment, or even items of technology such as cars, robots, and computers. 44. Which of the following types of teaching aids does a globe fall under? A. Replica. B. Realia. C. Chart. And D. Model. The answer is model. So models of teaching relate to several models that assist teachers in honing their um, communication skills. Okay, so the models enable teachers to assist the overall learning curves of students. 45, which is the highest Maslow's hierarchy of needs? A. Self-esteem. B. Socialization. C. Self-actualization. And D. Health and safety. So the highest hierarchy of needs, according to Maslow, is self-actualization. So this is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, no? Um, Self-actualization is at the top of the hierarchy. So this need refer to the desire to reach our full potential. So according to Maslow, this need can only be met once all of the other needs are satisfied. 46. What knowledge refers to teachers' solid understanding about a subject matter? A. Content knowledge. B. Subject knowledge. D. Technological knowledge. And D. Pedagogical knowledge. The answer is content knowledge. So this refers to the body of knowledge, the facts, theories, principles, ideas, vocabulary, which teachers must master to be effective. So teachers should have a deep understanding of the subject they teach and corresponding curriculum. 47. I want to compare two concepts. Which techniques is most appropriate? A. Spiderweb organizer. B. KWL techniques. C. Attribute wheel. And D. Venn diagram. The answer is Venn diagram. So this one, if you are going to compare two things, you are going to use this. So this is used to compare and contrast two or more groups of things by visually displaying their similarities. Meron ka ring differences in two or more circles that overlap. So similarities between topics are presented where the circle from one category overlaps with the circle from the other category. Okay? 48. What is the first language of a newborn baby? A. Crawling. B. Crying. C. Bubbling. And D. Cooing. The answer is crying. So to start with, your baby will use are crying as their main means of communicating with you. So, but will then start to extend his range of sounds. So first, the language ni baby is really crying. 49. If a teacher discovers that her pupils are good at dramatizing, which tool must have helped in discovering her pupil's strength? A. Journal entry. B. Portfolio assessment. C. Paper and pencil test. D. Performance test. The answer is letter D. Performance test. So, performance testing is the practice of evaluating how a system performs in terms of responsiveness and stability under a particular workload. So, performance tests are typically executed to examine speed, robustness, reliability, and so on. 50, the last number. Which of the following issues is appropriate for collaborative action research by teachers in the school? Okay, so it is it A, poverty in the regional community, B, political dynasty during elections, C, increasing number of student absences, and D, climate change affecting the world? So it is increasing number of student absences. Okay, so this is a very good topic, no, for the teachers to explore, no, in conducting action research. So collaborative action research involves a systematic process in examining the evidence. Okay, so the data analysis can be done by action researchers, but it is more powerful when it is done with a group of people who are interested in the outcome. So this type of research builds knowledge, informs theory, and changes the practice. Okay, so that would be all. Thank you so much for listening, and I do hope that you get something in here that will be useful, no, on your review. Okay, so thank you so much, and God bless us all.